You said this the other day at that press conference you mentioned.
I would right now, if I could, and I knew had a good chance to do it, I'd do anything known to man to get in a Super Bowl. That's a fact.
But it's not a fact. That's not true. Would you hire a general manager and let him make all the football decisions?
Yes, if I knew for sure he'd win a Super Bowl.
You really would?
Well, if I knew for sure he'd win a Super Bowl yesterday. The facts are we know that only God knows who can win the Super Bowl and who won't, and we know how many other parts have to come together. My thoughts have always been, I'll have people around me that are as close to being competent, have Super Bowl type ideas that can get you to that. I'll have them and I listen, and I have listened all the time. But I don't want to create some fake point. At the end of the day, since I have to write the check, then I've always made the decision at the end of the day. Does that mean that I have made a decision in spite of what the people that I think are smart advise me to do? No, not at all.
That may have been the single most frustrating interview I have ever heard Jerry Jones give. And this interview has really rubbed some fans the wrong way. Now, I have no clue when this interview actually happened, so I can't provide you the context, meaning the exact time, the day, the year, all that stuff. I don't know when it happened, but judging by the age wrinkles on Jerry and how he looks very, very close to seeing the big man in the sky or the big man under the ground, he's pretty damn old. So this has to have been a fairly recent video. Holy cow. There was a lot to digest here, wasn't it? So essentially, everything that Cowboys fans have been talking about, everything that Cowboys fans have been afraid of as it pertains to how the Cowboys organization is run, Jerry Jones, he just confirmed it. He confirmed it himself. And kudos to whoever the interviewer is that's actually talking to Jerry Jones on this clip, because this dude, he wasn't holding any punches, man. He came straight at the problem, right into its face, which is Jerry Jones. He asked the hard questions and made the hard declarations that need to be made. He told Jerry right to his face, but you're not trying to do everything that you can to win. Otherwise, you would have hired a GM. And to me, Jerry's response to this entire situation was very telling. He essentially said he keeps competent people around him that can give him good advice on what to do, but none of those people have convinced him that they're good enough at their jobs, that they would know what they're doing as a GM, which is why he's not actually hiring a GM, because he feels like he knows best for this team. The Dallas Cowboys are a vanity project for Jerry Jones. Yeah, I get it, Jerry. There are no guarantees in life. No one can guarantee you that just because you hire a GM that you're more likely to win a Super Bowl. But you know what we can say about that particular type of move? That if you were to hire someone whose entire day, their entire livelihood, their entire life, for whatever time they're employed to your team, is going to be surrounding trying to make the right moves to accomplish whatever goals the owners have set in place for that position. If you hire someone that's specifically made for that job, his whole purpose is to be the GM of the Dallas Cowboys, do you realize that they're going to be able to devote a lot more time, effort, resources, and attention to actually building this team properly, understanding what the team's needs really are, and not drafting a one-tech defensive tackle that apparently your defensive coordinator didn't even really give you clearance on? Obviously, since your own son came out and said in his own words, I think Mazi Smith is going to be a lot better this upcoming season because he's actually going to be playing under a defensive coach whose defensive scheme he fits in. So, Mr. General Manager Jerry Jones, wasn't it you that was hard on drafting Mazi Smith this last NFL draft? I believe we have footage of that.
The 12th and 13th pick are on the board. You got Bergeron and you got Mazi. Mazi would create a dynamic that we do not have now, and he would take some of the pressure off our outside rushers. I'm ready to take the nose guard. I don't need any more about Mazi. As far as I'm concerned, with the few minutes we've got right here, let's try to sell the hell out of Bergeron over Smith. The nose guy is a hell of a strategic pick for us, for our defense now.
So yeah, we see where that's getting us, Jerry. And don't think that we forgot about the whole war daddy phase you went through when you were trying to find a defensive end that you never actually found until you finally drafted a linebacker that ended up being really, really good at defensive end. But we got the Taco Charlton experience out of you as well, Jerry. We didn't forget. We got the various dudes who couldn't stay on the field because of various drug issues. We didn't forget. You were the guy that wanted to draft Johnny Manziel instead of Zach Martin, which one of them is making Netflix specials and the other one is still playing in the league right now. We didn't forget. You were the guy that really, really wanted Paxton Lynch. He's not in the league anymore. We didn't forget. So you see what I'm saying? Jerry, you're not that good of a general manager. In fact, a lot of you guys' best draft picks are guys that y'all didn't think nothing of when y'all actually drafted them. Your starting quarterback was a 4th round pick that you didn't want. Most of your star players are playing way above where they were actually projected to be coming into the league. You didn't predict that these dudes were going to be dogs like that, Jerry. You didn't know Trevon was going to be special the way he is. You didn't know Micah was going to be special the way he is. There's a reason he fell out the top 10. And hell, if I'm not mistaken, didn't we trade back in that draft? I think we even played with that pick a little bit. Someone could have easily picked Micah. We traded back, I think, after the corner that they actually wanted went off the board. You see, it's interviews like this one from Jerry Jones where he's essentially telling us that regardless of anything else, he feels like he's the best man for that position, even though he has his hand in all these different pots. He has his hands all over the place in all his different businesses, all the different aspects of running an NFL franchise. He cannot possibly give the same amount of time and attention that a full-time GM would be able to give to that position. And you shouldn't be expecting Will McClay to essentially act like a GM without that real title. I would not be surprised at all if we lose Will Clay sooner rather than later. I wouldn't be surprised, and I wouldn't blame him not one bit, because this situation right here, I think that you've peaked. I think that you've essentially peaked as to where you can get with this organization, Will McClay, and that's just the God honest truth. And Lord knows I don't want to see what this team looks like without Will McClay giving his insight on what we should do, because I have a sneaky suspicion that if we didn't have dudes like Will McClay in the front office, this team would look like a damn mess. But either way, it's stuff like this interview which proves why we still them same old damn Cowboys, man. Take it away, Pastor.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Oh, shut up, my boy. Hey! I'm still them boys.